This podcast is intended for adults only. We do not condone the use of any illegal substances, and anything we consume is for educational purposes only.
Because, we should be afraid of a plant that grows from the ground. And, endocannabinoid system is, it's in your body and it produces cannabinoids. I mean, you know what? I'm going to stop because I'm going to rant. Just play the music, Mitch.
You're listening to the Canna podcast, where we are cultivating conversations concerning cannabis, culture, and creativity. My name is Mitch Narito,
and I am Erick Esteban, and we should really first start with a grow update from the Buddha Lounge, because I'm chopping plants down, baby.
Nice.
I'm chopping plants. All of the two big tents. Both tents are dry and dark. They're drying and darking. Or darking. No, we just smoked before this. No, they are dark. There's no light. And they are drying. And hanging and drying. How's that? How's that starting off the podcast with a laugh?
We got there
my
eventually.
High fumble of my words.
We got there eventually. So wait, what's drying right now?
Okay, so there's the Platinum GMO. Shout out to Cartier Crops.
Okay.
And then there's also from Humboldt Seed Company, there's Blueberry Muffin. And also, like I was saying, the belle of the ball, the prettiest plants in the bunch, the chicken and waffles, man. Oh, yeah. Big, beautiful, frosty as hell, frosty as fuck. Really, I gotta say it like that because they really are crystally and beautiful. I'm really looking forward to the smoke on all of these, and then also in the other tent, we have the Fuck Boston. Coined by you.
Yeah.
Which should be the Gelato 33 cross to Legend OG. But we also have the Gelato 33 clone that has been growing out and probably been growing out for about 5 months. Uh-huh. And I really feel like it's like, yo, I'm done.
Yeah.
And it just started dying. Like the leaves just started dying. It really just started to senesce. And so then that was my cue to kind of cut down all the rest, because even the DJ Short Blueberry in there, there was also a plant of that in there, was the some of the leaves started yellowing, and then even again in the Platinum GMO, some of the edges of the leaves started yellowing. So you could see it. The plants were starting to they were starting to senesce. They were starting to end their lives. They were starting to get to the end of their cycle, because that's part of this plant. Learning how to grow this plant is learning to know when to chop, right?
I used to listen to that band in college, Evanescence. Sorry.
Evanescence. I'm trying to think of the chorus because I know it's some kind of suicidal lyrics. Because right now, after hearing
wake me up.
Yeah, wake me up inside. Wake up that joke inside.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Evanescence. Oh my God.
We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna be a pot cover band.
Yeah, as we've gotten to know each other over this podcast and touring the country and doing all these things, I didn't realize that you really do like alternative rock and pop rock and all. Like, you like rock music.
I do. I grew up I went to all white high school, so it was just around, right? But then I also grew up during the area where that's what it was all about, what
was it, Blink 182 and
Blink 182,
Sum
41, Good Charlotte, Paramore, Panic at the Disco, AFI. There's so many. There was a lot of them. I was a fan of Sugar Cult, Something Corporate. There's a lot of them, and for that.
I'm old.
No, it's not. It's just that I will admit that I didn't have much of a musical taste. I didn't have my musical taste was not as refined, or it's still not great, but I like music. But I didn't develop my musical preferences until like well into like early college, because everything I found, like, it was because I was like dating or trying to get at some girl, and then they're like, I like this, and I was like, I like this too, like it was just a way for me to find common ground. I'll be like, all right, yeah.
No,
like,
I love music all the time. We've had this conversation before, because we had the conversation during the Kendrick and Drake battle, where we were kind of covering it as far as pop culture. But to get back to the grow update, I mean, I'm really excited for all of these strains, but particularly I'm curious about what's going to happen to the Gelato 33, because it died on the vine, and I've never really had that happen. And it's quicker senescence also forced me to like also, harvest the other plants, or examine the plants to see if they were ready to harvest more often, because I'm trying to, try to make it so it times out. Plus, I'm trying to coincide with the weather, because I'm drying them in that, hybrid indoor-outdoor space, and it's going to be cool for the next 7 to 10 days here in Southern California, whereas we had a little heat wave, and there were some plants in the greenhouse that died. But I'm just saying, like, I had to time out the dry, especially for these, when we get closer to these summer months. You really have to almost look at the weather to say, okay, I got this amount of time. Okay, I got about a week to dry them at this temperature at about 70 degrees. Okay, I gotta chop them, because I might not get another window like this once summer hits. No,
but it's also because it was the inferior cut. It was the Larry Bird cut, so, it was weak.
First of all, you know that it wasn't weak. It was a good weed. You just didn't like the name. That's all.
It's just the Larry Bird cut couldn't hack it this time around.
Well, no, it started off like the Celtics. You would say they started off strong, but they really didn't start off strong. They started off strong in the first round, I guess, but in this, since they're
just
hit
inconsistent.
The Knicks,
and get by on their name.
I think by the time this episode uploads, well, we'll see, because they may have been eliminated, or they may have pushed it to a game 6. But I'm talking
all this shit. And Lakers didn't get past round 1, so
yeah, Lakers, yeah.
But fuck Boston.
Well, we named the legend crossed with Gelato 33 after your favorite phrase.
And that's why the Lakers weed is doing better than the Celtics weed right now.
Speaking of that, it is really that I'm excited about that, because it's the most, I don't want to say distinct, but it is really pretty. All the weed besides the Gelato 33 that died, turned out really like you want to take pictures of it. It's beautiful. And then, I'm hoping that, again, that those dried leaves, when you trim all those dried leaves off of the Gelato 33, there's going to be some beautiful bud under there, which I'm sure there is going to be.
Like, those were pretty substantial looking.
Yeah.
Like, they were, but we were talking about how you were, like, in the curing process, like, how, because remember we were talking about how, like, you got to really feel it out, and you got to see, like, is this weed ready to be, cut, or, like, or whatnot, and you were saying that you're pretty much waiting for it to get like a little harder than, or like just...
I want it to get not brittle, but I do want it to be a little cracky. Crack, the stems crack. They snap. They don't just bend. Because some of the weed that because I was listening to some of the other podcasts about weed and growing weed at home, and they talked about trimming on a 5 to 7 day clip after hanging, a 5 to 7 day hang, which I think, especially in my environment, it's too short.
Okay.
Like, I think it needs to be a 7 to 10 day for me.
I think you're gonna especially because we've got it's been nice weather. Like, it was really hot over the weekend, but this week it's like mid 70s all week.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Saturday there is expected to be a little rain.
Yeah.
But then after that, it's gonna get hot again. It's gonna get super hot.
Right.
So
that's why, like, I want this 7 to 10 days of cool weather to take advantage of it, because in the by the day 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, this time next week is gonna be.
It's gonna be hot.
Yeah.
Right. So, the first tent, the Gelato 33 and the Fuck Boston, I cut down on Monday, and then this tent I cut down this morning, which is, if you're listening and we record fast, it is Tuesday. We're recording on Tuesday, so I cut down on Tuesday. So by this time next week, I should start, or probably finish trimming the first tent and start trimming the second tent.
All right. So we're about 2 weeks out from smoke.
Yeah, about 2 weeks out from being flush again with harvest,
Nice.
and having a plethora of different and actually having a lot of different strains, because all of the plants that we harvested, like, it's like one of the platinum GMO, it's one of the blueberry muffin, because I planted 2, but one of them didn't survive.
Yeah.
And then 2 of the chicken and waffles, which I'm excited about, because that's going to yield a lot, because those are big plants and the buds on them look really big. So I mean, and on all of those plants that I named, plus the DJ Short blueberry, looks great. They all look like good, and I think the DJ Short blueberry is the one that's gonna benefit the most from the longer hang.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna hang them longer, but I'll tell you, it's almost what? So I'd say by June.
Yeah.
We'll be good. We'll be good with weed, which times out perfectly, because there's new laws and taxes coming into effect here in California, which is going to make it much more expensive to buy stuff at the dispensary. You're going to really, especially if you're living in Cali, you're going to want to start to think about investing in growing your own, especially if you're smoking every day. If you're smoking a lot.
So just recently, tax in California, sales tax went from 9.5, now it's 9.75. So not that big of a jump, but it's still enough that you'll feel it. It'll add up over time. But starting July 1st, I believe that Newsom just pushed forward an increase in the excise tax, which is just another tax on top of, like, whatever you're paying for your weed.
Which is probably paying for the new LAPD tank.
Yeah. So it's at 15%. It's going to jump up to 19%, and from what I was reading, it can keep going up until somebody actually stops it from, like, it's scheduled to go up every 2 years unless somebody actively, like, puts a hold on it.
Now, do we know where this money is going?
So remember, like, when we were talking about this stuff at the beginning of when we started doing our podcast, most of this money goes into a slush fund, which is just like a discretionary fund, but it's for LAPD.
Yeah.
And it's not for the policing of marijuana or enforcing, like, cannabis laws or whatever.
No, it's just for the LAPD.
It's just for LAPD. It's just extra funds for them so they can, get more resources and funding to harass people that, use weed, I guess. But so it's going up from 15 to 19%. So, like, I was looking at the numbers, and pretty much, guys, okay, so let's say you go to the dispensary, right, and you want to buy an eighth of weed. Right?
So how much are we talking here? 50?
It depends. It depends on what kind of eighth. So, like, your low.
Because we just went to the dispensary, right? And what did we buy?
We bought some house flower from the shop.
From Exhalants.
Yeah.
I'm cool to say their name. I
Okay.
don't care. I'll give them a shout out. But because they've been my spot for like 10 years almost now. But how much was that? 120 for how much?
So it's 120 for a quad for 14 grams.
Okay,
Right.
so that's expensive.
Yeah.
But it's also
No, well, I mean, it's not bad. Like
it's not bad.
It's not bad. Like it's good.
It's good weed.
Yeah, it's good weed and it's good volume. Like that's like you're always trying to find the happy medium, right?
Yeah.
But let's say you want to buy just like an eighth, right? Let's say you don't smoke every day, but like you smoke, right? Like weekends or whatever, parties, socially, whatever you want to say, right? So usually an eighth of weed is about $35-$40, right? Like just for an eighth, if you're buying like let's say, what brands would be that? Like that'd be like Fig Farms, like mid. It's not like low end, but it's like somewhere in the middle. Like it's stuff like that.
So you're buying mids.
Yeah, you're buying mids, right?
Okay.
You're gonna spend $35 just for that's the sticker price, right? That's how much you got to purchase it for, right?
So you're buying mids at $35 an eighth.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of rehashing the situation so
that sounds
everybody
about
can kind
right,
of follow along.
So you're gonna get hit with the local cannabis tax, right? Which is 10%, right? So you're gonna get hit with that, right? You're gonna get hit with that new excise tax or the increase. That's gonna be 19%.
So basically 20%.
Yeah, and then after that total is going to get charged the state tax, which is 9.75, right? So if you do the math, like $35, like your purchase is going to be around like $55-$60, right? For an eighth of weed.
So it almost doubles the price, almost.
It almost doubles the price. And for all of you guys that are like, I don't smoke flower, I smoke those pre-rolls.
Well, it's all the same. The excise taxes.
No, yeah, and that's what the thing. But just in case, because I noticed this about because we we're a little older, right?
Yeah.
Like growing up, we had blunts.
We're definitely in our midlife crisis stage.
We had our blunts. We had our joints. We had our spliffs and all that. We had all kinds of stuff, right? Now it's just the pre-roll. It's just the blanket.
They'll do pre-rolls,
infused pre-roll or not infused.
They'll do that, and then also all of them are vaping.
Yeah,
all of them are doing some kind of vape,
like a bar or a cartridge,
something. Yeah.
But anyways, so let's say you want to buy a pack of
futuristic ass smokers.
Let's say you want to buy a pack of Jeters or Stizzies. Let's say Stizzies, right?
Yeah, that's $32. I just bought I just bought one.
So it's like 35, right? So that's the same as an eighth, right?
Right.
So for a 5-pack of Stizzies now, it's gonna cost you like $55.
Yeah.
So that's like you're smoking it's like 11 bucks a joint.
Currently, before the excise tax pops off, there's still about you're running at about 40.
Yeah.
Maybe 45, depending on.
Yeah.
So it used to be like $10 more. Mm-hmm. Now it's $20 more.
Yeah.
Maybe even in some cases, depending on how large your purchase is, $30 more.
Okay, and I'm talking about solely buying in a dispensary, right?
Right.
So if you order from like a weed delivery service, right?
Oh, that's even more.
Yeah, because you got
to pay for the delivery service.
Yeah, you got a delivery fee plus a service charge, right?
I'm sure plus a packaging fee because they always come in nice packages.
And then if you're not pulling cash, like I didn't pull cash today, like when I just used the card.
Yeah, you have to use there's a charge on your credit card.
So I got hit with that, It
was like a $4 charge, but it's still something.
Yeah.
But it all adds up.
Yeah. So
moral of the story is, kids, if you smoke a lot of weed, you really should start thinking about growing your own. And then what you can do is you can go back to episode 1 of this podcast and set up your grow.
Yeah.
No, but really, but also, what are the basic needs? Like we haven't gone over it in a while, but does this make you think about growing your own, maybe even setting up a little 2x2?
I would consider it, if you
had the space.
If I had the space, but it does make me want to
Well, it
slow
does
down.
make me hurry my harvest up.
Yeah,
That's for
like,
sure.
I'm waiting.
What did you say the other day? What did you say?
I supervise when.
No, it wasn't that. You said something about I can't wait for my free weed or some shit like that.
No, what did I say? I don't know.
You said some shit where I was like, "What the fuck?"
No, I think I said, "Oh, I can't wait for you to harvest our weed."
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, no,
Our weed, bitch. That's my weed.
No, but okay. So you're paying $35 for mid, right?
Oof.
Okay, and then let's say because we talk about Cam a lot, right? Not Camelot, but Cam.
But Cam or like what's the other? What are other good brands?
No Till Kings is like the organic.
Yeah,
like,
or even like Exhalants, the house brand is a little bit more expensive than some of the.
Yeah, but still, their prices are still pretty good.
That's why I love them.
But like, let's say you get like, what are so Cam is the high end. What are the other ones? Like,
Well, Stizzy is the number one brand.
Yeah, but that I wouldn't consider Stizzy like high end.
High end quality. No, I would just consider them as a mass quality. But like what would be another? Connected is a good brand.
Connected is up there. It depends.
It depends. And there's I mean I only shop for weed very seldom. And because I go to Exhalants a lot of times I'm just buying the house brand.
Yeah,
Because I mean, you literally, even today when we went over there, you could see it because it's all there. They grow it in house and you can see their plants. It's beautiful. It was really nice when that window's open.
Yeah, I thought that was a straight up window. But oh yeah, so. I'm actually looking at a menu right now because I just want
to. They have a because sometimes that window's closed, especially when it's light sensitive. I'm sure, but sometimes if you're lucky, you get there on the right time, and the shades are open, and you get to see all the plants in their stacked beautifulness. Like it's on double stacks, right? Yeah. So I'm guessing they have a light on the bottom stack, and then they have a light.
There's
on the
a
top.
lot of plants.
They had a lot of plants in there, man.
I hope we're not blowing up anyone's spot right now, but
they're. I'm sure they're licensed.
They're all above.
They're
board.
Obviously all licensed and above board. They've been running and operating for a long time, and I really like them.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
No, I'm just like the different because I have my brands that I like, and so that's why like anytime like.
Well, what was that? What's that brand name that you like? That I know is they make cereal milk and they're really consistent with their cereal milk.
Cookies is one. Cannabiotics, right? What else?
What was it? It's a green and yellow, off yellow, like almost a mustard kind of colored logo for that cereal milk.
It's Cookies.
No, it's not Cookies. It was something else.
Oh, I don't know.
It was something else. You and Angie both said it when on the podcast before.
Jeters?
No, it was in Jeters. It's flowers, and I'm almost. It almost comes.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Fuck. See, dude, my marijuana affects short-term memory, man.
You know, I guess it does. But it doesn't affect my short-term memory, obviously, because I'm describing the fucking label.
Yeah. No, but but no, it's what fucking.
Cereal milk, and it's fuck. I know, but I know that brand. It's at high
Maven.
quality.
No.
No.
I don't know, man.
Well, you might think of it, or you might find it on the thing.
Oh my god! See, like that's how long like I haven't really been going to dispensaries. You know, like
because I spoiled you guys. I spoiled you.
But anyways, like top end, right? Like Cam or let's say fucking 710 Labs, Alien Labs, or whatever, right? Like those are like the ones that are like $50-$60 an eighth, right? Mm-hmm. So now like after taxes and everything, you're and this is for 3.5 grams. This is it. This is for solely 3.5 grams, right? Mm-hmm. Like your 3.5 gram eighth of whatever, like of high end weed, is now going to cost you like $70. Mm. So if you break that down per gram, right? So 3.5 divided by 70, what is that? You're paying for, because like I my general rule of thumb is like $5 to $10 a gram sounds fair, right? Mm-hmm. But If it's was it 3.5 divided by 70. Yeah, you're paying like. Oh wait, did I do that right? I can't. Yeah, you're paying like $20 a gram. That's fucking ridiculous. That's like the only people that I knew like that used to pay $20 a gram would be the white boys that didn't know any better when they were paying, you know? They'd be like in the wrong part of town, like, hey, how much for this? And then people would be like $25, you know?
40.
Yeah, 40 for a gram, right?
No, I used to sell joints for 10 in the dorms, allegedly.
10 but $10 for a joint is fine.
Yeah, even back in the day. Well, in the 90s, it was expensive. People would tell me, "Nah, man, 5," and I'm like, "No, 10." 10, sir. Do you have any weed with you now? Are you fiending? 10.
Yeah. So, yeah, everyone, like, either stock up or start growing your own because things are going to get tight, I feel.
I think, well, I mean, and everything is more expensive in this fuck around and find out era we're living in. But we told y'all, y'all didn't listen. If you listened to those podcasts before the election, we warned you. But hey, you know, whatever. Because all this would have been alleviated by descheduling or rescheduling this plant by the DEA, and of course that was put on hold by the drug czar that Trump put in charge. So there's that.
They're trying to roll it back because it's the easiest way to lock up people of color.
You can't put that genie back in the bottle, especially in the states that it's recreational. It's not gonna happen. Try putting that back in the bottle in even just like a city like New York.
Yeah,
you can't do it.
Anyways, speaking of people of color, it is AAPI.
Heritage Month.
Heritage Month? No, yeah. But it's like I know they added more letters.
AAPIHN. Or it's AAHNPI, I think. They put the Hawaiian National
That's
in the middle.
Okay.
I think.
No, because I just want to be inclusive.
It's always more complicated.
I don't want to be...
there's way too many acronyms in my life.
I don't want to be complicit in erasure. I don't want to
be implicit in erasure either. I visit Hawaii a lot. My family, part of my family lives in Hawaii right now, in Honolulu, on Oahu. But...
Did you just pull like one of those like my best friend is black?
No, not even close. That's not even a close thing. My family lives in Hawaii. I wouldn't want to erase them, and they're not Hawaiian nationals to begin with. They're still Filipino Americans.
Sorry, I'm just fucking. No, but anyway, it is. Speaking of Filipino Americans, it is AAPI month, so Heritage Month. So. Lots of Filipino things going on. The best thing
that happened to us this month, this was happened right just recently.
Yep, on Saturday.
It was Saturday, May 10th. We were at the Long Beach Filipino Festival, and I got to host, and it's so much fun. That event is so much fun because Philip Austria, the entertainment director of that festival, is so in tune with what's hot in Filipino music and Filipino hip hop, Filipino R&B, just Filipino music in general. I mean, from Glass Spirits to Pinay Voltron and
they had a good lineup. It was
Yams and obviously Carl Angelo, who's the headliner. I mean, all of them are really like in the case of Pinay Voltron, they opened for Ruby, and they're all awesome. They're all really incredible, and to have them all on one event, it kind of made me wanna
rap.
No.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, I can rap. Trust. No, but I mean, I would like to do some parody music stuff for sure, but not even just that. It really, like, one of my all-time goals and ultimate goals is an imitation of a hero of mine, and that's doing a Dave Chappelle block party, but with all Filipinos.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be, and I put that out there, and then Joe Coy will listen to our podcast, and then he'll beat us to the punch. But it's okay.
Just invite us. That's cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. No, but I would really love that if it was like a cannabis comedy, and music hip hop festival, where it was. But we brought it to Chicago, and I really do feel like Philip from the Long Beach Filipino Festival, he could help me to book that show, because he's really got an ear and eye for what's hot in Filipino music. He really does. He's really good at that.
No, it was a good day. Like it's always cool to chill in Long Beach.
I feel like your video went viral a little bit. Like your Barrel Man, Barrel B, excuse me, your Barrel B video went viral.
So guys, if you guys haven't followed them yet, Water Moon Studios, is it Water Moon? Moonwater?
Water Moon.
Water Moon, sorry. Water Moon Studios and Il Manila collaborated, and they made a. We can't use the actual name, but they have a Filipino bee who may or may not be from a food franchise, and they put him in a barrel.
Bee as in like a honeybee, but a bee. Let's say instead of yellow and black, it's red and yellow and white with a red bow tie.
That's the greatest description. But yeah, so it's a you may say it is
you can just go on our Instagram and you can see, because you can look on our stories and you can see, or I just posted a story about discovering it and buying it, and which is going. It's doing nicely, but even then, just go on our Instagrams, Erick Esteban Comedy, or Mitch at Mitch Narito, or at Canna Kuyas, and follow all three of those accounts, and you'll stay up to date on all the stupid shit that we buy at Filipino festivals.
I spent so much money, but I was happy to do it. Like,
well, me too, man. I was so happy to spend. Like, shout out to again, Water Moon. And
Il
Manila, of course. But I bought a bunch of stuff for my daughters at what is it?
Sunkissed Pinay.
Sunkissed Pinay. Thank you very much. And I met the husband and wife who run that whole thing, and they were really cool people, and they were really nice and very complimentary of my hosting, and it was just a nice interaction. It was really, really just a cool vibe. I also got some. Kahol? Kahoy shit.
I was like, Kahol.
I'm stoned. No, I should know Kahoy means wood, but Kahoy sunglasses as well. And they hooked me up over there. That was just, I spent a grip, but I think I spent
isn't that what happens when you do a lot of ketamine? No, that's K-hole. When you.
I don't know, but yeah, no, say it again. The name of the sunglasses.
Kahoy.
Kahoy. Thank you.
Like ahoy.
Yeah, ahoy, but kahoy, and kahoy in Tagalog means
wood.
There you go. See, there's a Tagalog lesson.
The more you know.
The more you know, exactly. But no, it was a fun festival. I saw Big Abe. We saw Kuya Estilo, Willie, and just a real bunch of. It always feels like almost a reunion.
No, there's a bunch of Filipino comics and like performers. Like
Mikey Perry was there. We did a little Ube World action.
John Yabes.
Yeah, it was fun, man. That was a fun show. And then
Dre Magics.
Yep. I mean, and even the Pan de Sol podcast. Shout out to the Pan de Sol podcast. Were all the members there? Or?
No, that was when it's not all of them. Yeah, if it's 2/3, it's Rumble Roll, and they do D&D, and I play with them.
Oh, okay. Because they played that Filipino D&D that they do.
Yeah.
You play with them?
Yeah, I'm a pirate named Ugat.
Wow. Utak.
Yeah.
Utak, the brain?
I'm the mind, yo.
You're the mind? You're the pirate, the mind?
Yeah, I'm the rogue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, tell us about your Filipino Dungeons and Dragons character.
So he's a human. He's a rogue, right? And he's a lech. He does
What the
nothing.
fuck is a lech?
Like he's a ladies' man. You've never heard that? Like lechery?
No,
No?
I've never heard of a lechery.
No.
And I've never someone who was a ladies' man describe themselves as a lech.
Yeah, like a ne'er do well. Like
Are you? What are you? Are you?
I'm pretty much like all the pirates you can ever think of.
Why are you using these words?
'Cause it's-
Ne'er do well and
It's Dungeons
lech.
and Dragons. Upgrade your vocabulary, ho.
First of all, I understand what all these words mean. I was an English major, okay?
But you don't know what a lech is.
I just never, I haven't heard the term in a long, long time, and I would never think of someone to just, I'm a lech. I didn't realize that was a thing.
I'm a womanizer, man.
Okay, all right. So you're a hoe.
Yeah, he's like he's a monk, right? And then he sails boats and does nothing but drink and whore.
So not too different from you.
I don't whore.
You don't whore, but you whore. You whore yourself out
I guess so. I put myself out there.
on your commercial auditions.
I got to do one of those later.
You want to do one of those later? See, I haven't heard from my commercial agent since I signed with him.
Is there any commercial agents out
No,
there?
I really
Eric
feel like
Esteban?
no. The guy that I signed with commercially, I really feel like all he wanted to do was sign every good stand-up comedian in Los Angeles and have them on his roster because that's all he does. Because he books a show at the Improv, a monthly show, and I feel like he just wants to have his pick of his clients to do a show. But maybe 4 months ago I sent me on an audition, so yeah, I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna have to shop for a new.
You can always shop. Shopping is free. Window shopping.
I'd rather not. I don't like to do commercials anyway.
I mean, it's a good.
I'd rather do podcasts like this one with my good friend Mitch Narito.
Oh man, I work for weed.
You do work for weed, and you're feeding for it because it's more valuable than money at this point.
I know you can't be spending all that money. But yeah, so like shout out to all the vendors and all the artists and everything that were at the Long Beach Filipino Festival.
Yo, and you know, from last year to this year, what do you think? More side eye, less side eye? Also, I told the weed joke. I told the joke about how Echo ate my plant.
I was surprised because I was like, when you started mentioning weed, because there was a point when you were doing your weed joke and then you went up to a little kid and then you're like, you want a sticker? And then like me and everybody else at the booths were like, do you just give him a can of Kuyas sticker?
I would have if I had one in my pocket, but no.
No, it was the miscellaneous.
No, you know what was great about it? I was speaking to some of the. You're at a Filipino festival, so there's going to be a booth with health advocates and nurses in that bitch, right? And I was speaking to some nurses, the nurses who were right by our booth, and I was talking about it. And I even shared the story of my mom, how she, she refused all the rest of her medicines and just did cannabis at the end. So, and they were like, no, there's a lot of. Then they were saying that there's a lot of patients like that because it's a good medicine and it works.
We didn't have it wasn't like we weren't like flooded with people, but we did get people that came by the booth and they were like, hey, I heard you guys do this podcast. And they're like, where do I
reciprocate. They wanted stickers. We gave stickers away. And also, I think the more we do it, especially in Long Beach, the more accepted we're going to be. Cause
Long Beach, I feel would be like the first.
I mean, Long Beach is as far as Filipino festivals. Long Beach is innovative in the way that they do their programming, because they do have the community and the traditional stuff. Yeah. But even those people that present are really good performers and really, they pick the best of those cultural groups,
Yeah,
and then the rest is really entertaining stuff. You saw people that sat there literally the whole day under that tent and just watched the whole show.
I thought it was hilarious that it started under the tent, but as the day moved, like everybody just kept moving like to the right. To get out of the sun.
Yeah, because the sun was like burning on the right side of the tent.
So like at the end of the night, the audience was pretty much like sideways.
Tilted, yeah, a little bit. But that's not it's the worst time that ever happened in an outdoor festival where I was performing. They wanted me to get there at noon. And so I woke up in my hotel and early, had some breakfast, and then caught a Uber they sent the car for me to pick me up because in Virginia they treat me so well. In Virginia, shout out to Virginia and Trisha over there. But anyhow, they got a car for me to pick me up and they drove me to the space. And it was packed. It was a beautiful day out. It was like sunny 75, beautiful, Mount Trashmore. Everybody's there riding their bikes, running up and top down the hill.
It's called Trashmore?
Yeah, because it used to be they converted this landfill into this beautiful park.
Okay, all right.
And so the huge like there's like a big hill that you like run up or bike or it's like a challenge, and it's used to be a whole big
pile of trash.
Correct. And so they call it Trashmore. That's the thing. And we were performing there, and there's this really beautiful band shell, and it was like beautiful, and this big huge crowd of people, and the festival's bustling, and I'm rolling up and I'm like, yeah, you're gonna perform there, and everybody, the audience is all responsive and the whole thing. And I performed at 5:30 and it was 12.
Yeah.
Right? And so the temperature dropped from 12 to 5:30. The temperature dropped 30 degrees, 30 degrees. It went down to it was like probably 50. Damn near. It was cold. Like maybe even with the wind, it might have been like 45.
Yeah.
And there was nobody in the audience, and the only people that were in the audience were the people who hired me to be there and the organizers of the event, because they had to be there to clean up after my performance. And so it just humbles you, but at the same time, that same event, there was like 2 or 3 families that stayed and were watching, or maybe they were passing by and they saw a show was going on and they stopped and watched for a little while. And there was this kid who came up on stage. And I was like, is this kid gonna like bum rush me or what? And I walked up to him and I was like, and I just did crowd work with him because there was nobody else and I was lonely because it was just me in this old empty field that used to be a garbage pile. And then he was like, I just wanted to come up here and tell you were funny. And I was like, oh, thanks, kid. And there's a picture of that with me talking to the kid, but.
Then Eric went home. He was like, "You don't need to pay me at all. This is what I needed."
No, not even a little bit. You still need to. You better pay me right now because I'm cold. My nipples are hard because I'm cold. No, but it was still a fun experience. And then I'm going back to Virginia in June.
Nice.
If I can get my real ID or my passport by then. Jesus Christ, this is.
Don't get deported, Eric.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous. This is the real idea. Must be the dumbest thing ever, but I'm not going to talk about that here on this cannabis podcast because they'll probably slow the process up even more.
Anyways, folks, we're coming up on time, so before we wrap it up, Eric, is there anything upcoming that we should be promoting?
Well, I mean, we got Ube Worlds all over the country.
Oh yeah,
that's coming up soon. So follow Mikey of the World or Mikey. Is it Mikey of the World?
Mikey of the World.
Mikey of the World?
Yeah, I think so.
Mikey of the World. And also follow us, Eric at Erick Has My Comedy and Mitch Janito. And then also at Canna Kuyas, because we post all the shows where we're performing live. I post those all on the story, and maybe we'll start even posting some more live sketch stuff, because I know you got you've been working and practicing with your Osmo, so we'll do some more live stuff. Like we'd have a post of my first attempt at making bubble hash.
Yeah,
and
we have some footage from the Filipino festival.
Yeah, that we might and that you have that. Like I said, you had that viral video of it's almost.
Dude, the most random things I post, like when I want to get engagement, I can't.
You're getting a lot of engagement from that.
Yeah, but like the stuff that I want.
But what I'm saying, and it's good timing, and it honors the country. It's when they were singing the Star Spangled Banner, and it's when the rockets red glare, and you unveil the bumblebee.
No, I just know that like. Freaking Yavis and somebody else was behind me, and they were watching me the whole time, right? Because they saw me like messing with my camera, and like they didn't know what it was yet, right? So they just saw the figure, and they're like, "What is that?" Right? And then I popped it off, and these dudes were rolling. Like Yavis lost his shit. Like it was so good.
I mean, they are good, and again, shout out to Watermoon. Follow at Watermoon Studios. I'm pretty sure. At Watermoon Studios, and you can get your own Barrel B, or you can do a Mandalorian or Iron Man. I can't remember the fake names that he used for the spoof barrel men, but trust.
Yeah, so at Watermoon Studios.
At Watermoon Studios. So follow them, follow us, and if you can. If you've been listening this long, you really should write us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or anywhere you get your podcasts, and you can write a review or rate us or do something. Follow us, share this podcast with your friends, and again, if you want to grow your own, hit us up. Hit us on DM, and I'll give you some tips.
All right, so to all our Kuyas and marijuana ates, you've been listening to the Canna podcast, where we are cultivating conversations concerning cannabis, culture, and creativity. I'm Mitch Narito.
And I am Erick Esteban.
Stay lifted.
Stay elevated. Peace, y'all.
Take it easy, everybody.
Downtown Chula Vista on 3rd Ave where I go cop some shit. Fuck a thief, so fuck zoomies. Yeah, they whack ass jacket shit. Yeah, I move too swift, so I striking silence. Fuck the violence, man. Check my mileage, cause I got drive. First two, I drove 6 states. Never thought I'd be there right by my side, man. What a time it is to be alive. See, I'm charged up, feeling energized. Build an enterprise, move supersize. Y'all lecture like a side of fries. Whoa, false guys who you idolize. Yeah, go against us, I would not advise. We the highest in the room, just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too, though they rewind us. All my targets lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I really rock designer.
Let's go, gang, highest in the room, yo, we get fucked up. Hey, you can count on Trey, can't bring the loud pack. Hey, get us in the stew and that's game over. Western Metal Building, that's a home run. Yeah, keep the up or leave the fuck a Folgers. Little bitch, I made the beat and dropped the full verse. I just hit a steelo, I got dripped up. Package born and raised, bitch, I got dripped up. Y no se compara. Yo estoy con mi pana, se llama Drake, fumando ganja. Estamos con Cali, fumando en Cali, yo sé que traen ganas. Ella me dice, papi, que terminamos la cama. Highest in the room, yeah, we get fucked up. Hey, you can count on Trey, can't bring the loud pack. Hey, get us in the stew and that's game over. Western Metal Building, that's a home run.
Yeah, we got hits like Tatis and Machado. Man, we know you're not a leader, cause all our moves you just follow, packing big bowls. You know we just scooped up that gelato, cause I smoke killer. My shirt iller, yo, ask our dealer. We the highest in the room, just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too, though they rewind us. All my targets lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I rarely rock designer.